It works. Hello, dear colleagues. So, I'm speaking. That's just the sound check for us right now. So, if you can hear me well and if you can see me well, please type it that yes, I do in your chat box below, or just type a plus and I will get the understanding that it's okay. Thank you, Olena. Okay. So, I think there is no problem. So, we are starting in 5 minutes. You just have some time to relax and to take a cup of water for yourself. And I'll be there in several minutes. So, hello everybody, ladies. Once again, we have already checked the sound, we have checked the presentation and the video, but please, once again, if you can hear me well, if you can see me well, please tap yes in your chat box, or just a plus would be enough and I will get the idea that you are here. Yes, thank you, Anna, Vera, Elena says that she does. Katerina, Natalia, Oksana. Okay, great, thank you. Larissa, fantastic. Before we start, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Alina Koshman and I'm a MEM Publications ELT consultant, together with Anna, who is another consultant of MEM Publications Ukraine. And today we are talking with you about confidence of our kids, of our learners in the primary school, and we will discuss with you the reasons for the unconfidence among kids, how to correct it, how to make it better, and how to help your learners, how to behave for yourself. I will answer all your questions at the end of the webinar, and I think that if you have any, you can type it as well in your chat box. I think it would be nice if we could have an interactive section. So whenever I would ask you something, I'd like you to answer and to share your experience with the rest of the teachers from different corners of Ukraine. So, how to boost your learners' confidence in the classroom? First, let's discuss it. I think that both the inexperienced and well-experienced teachers have faced at least once in their teaching career unconfidence among kids. How do you think? Are all of your primary confident during your classes of English with them? You can write your answers in the chat box and I'll be ready to read it out. So, are you sure your kids are confident? And asks, hello, Rina. I think that at least one of your kids in your class is a bit unconfident of what's going on and can have difficulties with expressing no, says Katerina. No, sometimes. Okay, so there have been a lot of research papers recently about the confidence and how it influences the studying in your classroom. So you shouldn't just ignore it if your kids are unconfident of something, because really confidence is the key of your classroom, confidence among your kids, and it influences their academic achievement. So if they are unconfident, they can make mistakes, they can be bad at different test papers, etc., and that can absolutely influence their result and academic achievement. Moreover, if your kids are unconfident, they won't get such delight from your classes, and definitely their motivation will be low. So you should also pay attention to that. They won't be very happy to visit the classes, even if you're a fantastic teacher, and even if you prepare absolutely different activities. If you take into consideration their interests, if they are unconfident and you don't help them with that, if you just ignore and don't pay attention to their unconfidence, it definitely can be a problem with motivation. Moreover, the process with unconfident kids is a bit complicated because they don't always answer the questions you ask. They sometimes tend to be afraid of making a mistake, and the learning process can be just tough and you can make even stops and terminate the process because for example, one of your kids cannot answer that question because he's just it's not the reason that he doesn't know the answer. He is not sure of whether the answer is right, and there can be a bit stop, and the answer could be, I don't know, and I can't do that, I can't answer your question. So it can influence learning process, definitely. What's more important, you know that currently we are having the new Ukrainian school. In Ukraine, since 2018, we will have the new Ukrainian school, and of course, the kids who will have the first year, who are the first year's kids at primary school, they are afraid of just coming into the school. It's new for them. It's a new experience, and due to their character, due to their age characteristics, they can be afraid actually of answering something, etc. So today we will look with you at the ways how to help, how to encourage your kids. Okay, so just for us to go through that once again. Confidence is more than important because it influences your academic achievement of your kids, motivation, and learning process. Okay, good. So, how do you think? If you see an unconfident student, can you think of at least 2 reasons why the unconfidence takes place among them? If you have any answers, any ideas, please. Can be unconfident. If you have any ideas, any answers, scared, says Olga. Okay, they can be scared. Why can they be scared? What are the reasons for that? Definitely scared. Shyness can be the reason. Shyness. Teachers, poor work with mistakes. They're scared and shy, says Alona. Poor work of teachers, right. If the teacher is unsure of what he does, the kids will be unsure as well. Shy. A person is shy and not confident. He is afraid of making mistakes. Shy. Okay, I definitely agree that shyness is one of the reasons why shyness. Yes, definitely. Not sure. Not sure. Okay. Absolutely agree. Not having fun. Yeah, kids cannot. Sometimes kids cannot take all. Make some mistakes. Afraid of making mistakes. Good. So, current research and recent research around the world showed that there are several ideas. You can see them all right now on the screen. So, one of the reasons for that is that no sound. If you have no sound or problems with video, just can hear me. Check your options in your computer. Some kids are not ready for school, definitely. So, but there are several things that we have detected with the rest of the researchers over the world. So, first of all, that is the fact that they feel unsure of their skills. They are unsure that their classmates will not take it, will not agree, etc. And definitely the unsure problem of their class is that they should we will discuss with you how to solve it. Some kids have introverted personality, and it doesn't matter whether you're a good teacher or whether you make some mistakes. They're just introverts and they don't like sharing their opinions. They don't like answering questions. They're just introverts and they have silent period. Okay, agree. Bullying. You know that sometimes kids, especially those who are 6-7-year-olds, they can be cruel to the rest of the company. And when they detect some weak kid who cannot answer them, of course they can start bullying him or her, and definitely because of the bullying the kid can be unsure of what he does, can be unsure of what he says, can be unsure of his answers or his actions. So definitely it's not your fault, it's not the fault of anybody. That's the reason can make them unconfident. They can feel shame even when they say something, or be afraid of saying something, I don't know, ridiculous, and the kids will take it not as somebody has answered. Being shy in the classroom, that is the answer which has been written here and typed here by almost everybody. Very bad connection. I think that it's okay. Okay. I think that shyness can be also overcome by you, and I will explain to you how we can do that actually with your kids. So there are several things which you can see right now on the screen, several aspects which you can also draw attention to and which you can correct within your classroom, and which can help to raise your kids' confidence in the classroom. So first of all, that is the psychological aspect, which influences how you behave, how you make, what atmosphere you have in the classroom, how they listen, whether they notice the information, whether they understand what they should do, etc. So whether they get all the emotions from you, whether they get positive emotions, not negative. Methodological aspect. We'll also look at the ways how you can change your methodology, how you can change your lessons and improve them, and definitely make it better for your kids, and which will help them in future to be confident on what they say, or what they write, etc. So we'll discuss it into consideration as a goal setting, because goal setting, something, of course, all of us, when we write plans for our lessons, we should write the goal, and sometimes it's very difficult to think it out, etc. And we have already talked at our previous sessions about how it is important to have goals, how to make goals, how to write them, and how to achieve them. But we will discuss with you how that can help to raise your kids' confidence, because it's really important and crucial for your kids, especially with how they can cope and how they can do. Okay, so first of all, how do you think? Is there any psychological universal solutions for, we'll talk about psychology right now, not about methodology, possibly. Psychology, how you can influence, how you can make your kids feel that they are secure at the classes, that they do it okay. Have you any clues for that? What do you do at your classroom? Let's share some experience, and I will later uncover what I have at my presentation. How do you talk to your kids? How you behave? Games. Okay, that is more to methodology, because that deals with your lesson building. What about psychology? How you treat them? How, if you see that some kid of yours is smile to children, okay, encouraging words, yes, you can say some and encourage them to work, but encouragements, okay, great. Give positive feedback, nice, it's a nice idea. Games and interesting video, it has been friendly atmosphere. Try to be their friend, not correcting all, because that's teamwork, etc. We'll talk about that again. Making fun. You see, you have plenty of solutions. You should give them an example that you can also make mistakes, and that is absolutely okay. Okay, nice, agree, absolutely great, and all of you have nice hugs. Great answer. All of you have right answers. You see, the kids, it doesn't matter how old they are, whether they're 2, 3, 4, or 7, as we have in Ukrainian school in the first form. The basic thing for all of them is that they will treat you the same as you treat them. If you are sincere, if you support them, if you praise them, encourage, they will get all that emotions and they will try to make it better. We don't talk about those kids right now who are, for example, naughty kids, etc. We're talking about unconfident kids, and when you want to help them, right? Okay, so let's look at the psychological tips for you, by using which you can be a better friend for them, you can support them, they will feel your love, and they will feel a friendly atmosphere. First of all, encourage and praise them, definitely. If you see that your kid is unconfident, you definitely should encourage him better. If he does it okay, if he has prepared some presentation which he had been working for several days even with the help of his mommy or dad, definitely should praise him. You should show to the rest of the class that the kid's result is nice, and in such a way you will give them the understanding that his success is better than he has even expected it to be. All of our course books, especially Smart Junior, we're talking about the first form right now, teacher's book. Whenever we have the exercise which they can use, they should make an activity afterwards, you as a teacher should encourage them to make the next task or praise them for doing this one. So teacher's book of our also says that you should encourage and praise your kids. Be positive. Here, sometimes the second point of being positive is a bit problematic. I understand that all of us are teachers and we can get tired very quickly, especially if you have 6 lessons round, so the whole day packed with lessons and everybody shouting, kids are very active. I understand that it can be difficult for you, but still your task of the teacher is to be simply positive, just to support them, to smile at them, etc. Even if you are tired, the simple of course, the classes with 10 kids, it's a bit difficult. We understand, all of us do that. It's difficult to spend 5 or 3 minutes to individual kid. It's just even impossible in terms of the 35-minute lesson in the new Ukrainian school. But still, you should really show that you care about how beautiful his handwriting was at his class, at his homework, for example, that you really understand his problem, you understand that he is shy, etc. So show that you really care, and the feedback would be great. Create opportunities. This point I have typed in here about psychology means that you should create opportunities for your kid just to express and about nature, about cars, later presented even just if there are photos and several sentences that he can say about those trees, that he can tell about those. So if he understands that his knowledge, his interests are valuable to you and to the rest of the class, the psychological aspect of him being unconfident will decrease. So that will not work with psychology more, that will work with methodology. But if you do create opportunities for his great presentation, for using his opportunities at your English class, that will be nice for your kid. Mind how you correct. One of you has typed in here when I asked about your psychological solutions that you are supposed not to correct all the words of his if he makes a lot of mistakes, and you should just probably write it down at the end of the class when he is alone, tell him that here is a mistake, etc. Just try not to correct every single word of his or her if there are any mistakes. Okay, so that is all about psychology right now, and I think that all of us are nice teachers, because if you teach primary school kids, so you love them, and definitely if you love somebody, you will have no problems with relations, etc. But there are no wonders in the world, it's called work. Okay, but right now we're moving on to goal setting. How is the goal setting related? So first of all, I have already told you that we should make some goals. Goals are important in terms of the fact that if you make some goal and if your kids understand that they have reached successfully this goal, that will lead to the natural confidence for them within the class. If they see that they have good results, they have done it okay, they have reached the goal, now they can do something that you have taught them, and the hours spent with the book or the hours spent remembering the words are not just in vain. So if you have the goal and you have expressed the goal to your kids at the start of your class or at the start of your term, I don't know, etc. At the start of the week, that this week we are learning with you fruit, and by the end of the week you will have learned all the names of the fruit and etc. Some school objects, doesn't matter what. And when you finish learning or going through this topic, and when you tell them that now you see, we have just started with you 3 days ago, and now you know all the words, and you have reached the goal I have actually set to you. So your kids will be happy, and those who are unconfident more than that, because they will understand that there is no reason for them to be unconfident. They can reach the goal you have helped them, you wanted to them to reach. So definitely that will be a nice opportunity. In terms of the course book, how you can show them that they have reached the goal, how you can I don't know, better users of English than they've been before. That and are the best options for your kids to understand that they have reached the goal, that they have achieved the goal that you have wanted them to do. In our Smart Junior course, we have such now I can sections at the end of every single module, and you can use them, and you are supposed to be attentive while doing it with your kids. Now I can section is a page with absolutely different exercises, by making which your kids will understand that now they know it, and it's not a big problem for them to make those exercises. Just do it. Yes, just do it, and you will have your kids will have no problems with confidence, because now I can help them to understand that their activities, everything they have done before previously during this module was not just in vain. So now I can sections are a great idea. So what about methodology then? We have talked with you about psychological options, about goal setting, and now our next step is talking about methodology at your classroom. Of course, there are, what would you tell me? We have talked with you about if you can't. Let's come back. One of you, Victoria, says that if your kids, he or she cannot make now I can section. I think that if you did everything all right during the module, if you have followed all the steps written in the teacher's book, I'm absolutely sure totally that now I can sections will be easily overcome by your kid. Because in now I can section, the first exercise is the easiest. Then it will be more and more difficult, but not very difficult, is not C1 level, of course, and not the level they should know and the words they have learned. And before now I can, you can have a revision section, and we usually have it in our course book. So first of all, they make revision, then they move to now I can. Not as brilliant as you wanted him to be, making the review section, having made the review section and moving on to now I can section will be a success for him. He will do it, he will cope with the tasks, it's not a big problem. Okay, finished with that. So, methodology. Tell me, have you got any tips in terms of methodology which can help you to boost your learner's confidence? Do you take into consideration the fact that, for example, Maria or some Peter is a bit of unconfident student when you plan your lesson? Do you do that? Write your answers in the chat box. I will be happy to read them out. So methodology, no. Lina, Yana, yes. Yana, if yes, write how you do that. Lina says no. We will discuss it. Olga, no. Okay. Yes, says Galina. If your answer is yes, type, may you repeat the question? Okay. We have discussed with you psychological aspect of how you can help unconfident kids. We have discussed with you the concept of goal setting. Now we move on to methodological aspect, the block of methodology. And you can use it successfully, and you can plan your lessons so that they can help your unconfident kids. If yes, write your answer in the chat box and how you do that. If no, write no. Okay. Somebody says yes, somebody says no. I think that is 50-50. 50% yes, 50% no. Somebody hasn't thought about that. Try to pay attention to students who are shy and unconfident. Okay. The thing is that, yes, of course, methodology is important. There are several aspects which can help you learn and how to take into consideration their interests as well as their features of his or her character. First of all, I have already, and not me, just Anna and the rest of our consultants have stated that grouping, that context learning, when you learn in context, when you learn both grammar and vocab sections, are a nice start for you. Are a nice start just because when they have some basis in terms of grammar, and when you introduce some vocab for them, it will be easy for them to use vocabulary in terms of grammar. So usually we try to combine both grammar and vocab. So context learning is important when you choose your course book for your next form. And if you see that probably there are several kids in your classroom that who, for example, have problems with confidence and who feel unsure or insecure, try to choose a course book which will teach them to in context. So when they have both vocab and when they have both grammar. For example, in Smart Junior, in our course, which is Smart Junior 1, which is international actually, but we have developed for Ukrainian special editions. Now we work with that. We have, for example, words which imperative mood grammar, for example, not in the first but in the second, doesn't matter, and the words like action words like run, take, go, find, jump, etc. So you just simply try to learn words which are connected to actions together with the imperative mood. When the kids have the basis, this is grammar, for example, or when they have basis in terms of vocab, it will be easier for them to use the rest of their knowledge, of their new knowledge, and to integrate it into their speaking, into their writing. If they have some basis, there won't be so much problems with that, because before that you will have some activities or introduction activities, warm-up, lead-in, which would help them not to be afraid of making a mistake, because their skills will be just not as automatic, but probably they will be sure of what they say, they will be sure of the right constructions that they have used. Okay, so context learning is the first key to your success. The next step, stick to your usual lesson plan. Right now, currently, you can see the Smart Junior 2 screenshot from our teacher's book, and the thing is that kids are those who don't like surprise. Really, probably that can sound absurd, but not in terms of learning at school at all. If you haven't told them beforehand that they will have a test paper, and if you say them at the beginning, even at the start of the lesson, if you tell them that, okay, in 15 minutes you'll have test, for somebody that won't be a shock, believe me, but for somebody that will be, especially for those who are unconfident, because still, yes, we will send the records. Okay, you will see all the webinar just at our Facebook page. You will have the connection. Those who are unconfident, they will be terrified, shocked, and of course, definitely that will influence their performance. So, me too. If I was told that I would have a webinar, or not a webinar, but a test in 15 minutes, which would relate to CAE C1 or C2 level, of course, I would be a bit not confident of answers that I would give. So probably the thing is, what is the conclusion? Stick to your usual lesson plan. Your kids like when you come in, when you greet them, when you ask how they do, when you can ask them who is on duty, what is the day-to-day. When there is a strict order, the strict procedure of what you do one by one, what steps, they will feel more confident. They won't be afraid of answering your questions. So try. If you see that some of your kids are unsure, try to make some tradition at the very beginning. Stick to your usual lesson plan. In our Smart Junior books, we usually have not the strict one, but the procedure is not usual, but actually the steps are okay. And the kids won't be afraid that you will give the test at the end of the one. And if you want to make a test for them, just tell them it beforehand, for them not to have any shock. Okay, so stick to your usual lesson plan, stick to the teacher's book recommendation. That will be a nice opportunity for you to boost and to raise students' confidence. Okay, the next stage, move from controlled to freer practice. We usually talk about our webinars and seminars which we hold, that students who have practiced in strict performance and those who have just learned the words and move to speaking activity instantly. No, of course, the drilling is important. Yes, so first of all, you introduce material, warm up, then you have practice. The practical aspect of you can see the screens right now. The practical aspect of your idea is that you should move on from very restricted conditions to free. So first of all, you can start, if that is the first form, kids from the new Ukrainian school, you can drill, right? Some words, they can repeat after you, etc. They will make sure their pronunciation is okay. They will make sure that they point to the right picture, etc. It's not a big problem. Then you can move on to freer practice activities. So when they should just fill in one word and say one word, they can say the words one by one. They can play some restricted conditions games. And afterwards, you can see on the screen, they can move on to pair work, teamwork activity, which is of the production character. So the productive character, that they should explain something, tell something, make a sentence, etc. When they should use those words instantly, and they shouldn't be much limited. Okay, nice. So controlled to freer practice. Good. The next stage is that you are supposed to use visuals. When your kids come to the first form, they have just left the kindergarten, and it's a nice idea that we have the new Ukrainian school next year, because it follows the internationally recognized steps in terms of education, especially in terms of English. The fact is that they liked definitely games at kindergarten, and they liked those activities which were easy and not difficult. You can make them more sure when you use visuals. They will not feel like they are somewhere in the ear and they have no support and they should answer some question. If you show them that they have flashcards which are colorful, which are interesting, which would help them understand that they are not alone, they have even flashcards to answer and just to support their activity, is the fact that which will help to raise their awareness and which will help you to raise their confidence. So, flashcards. We have nice range of flashcards for kids. So flashcards, posters. If you have posters on the wall, even if the topics are not those, or the topics are those which we will learn and which we will go with them a bit later, if they are on the wall, they can come, take a look, and that would be even more interesting. That will raise their confidence. Especially posters currently right now are colorful, they are big, with beautiful pictures, with nice graphics, etc. So use flashcards, posters, etc. If your course book has some heroes, some characters which are the main characters, definitely it will be better, because you will your kids will follow the life and the adventures of your kids. In Smart Junior, we have a boy and a girl who travel and who have different interesting situations, etc. So definitely pictures from your course book, especially if they are supported by some heroes, is a nice idea. So make sure when you choose your course book for the next year, make sure that it sticks to these parameters, to that idea. Okay, I'm happy that you agree that all of you use flashcards and visual materials quite often, because really, believe me, after the kindergarten and for the first year students in the new Ukrainian school, that is nice. Projects, projects. I totally agree to Jana, who has just typed in that kids like them. They do, and moreover, projects in terms of the new Ukrainian school boost your learners' confidence, as I have already told you, when you show their interest. Remember, I told you that create opportunities. So projects are one of them. We also have project sections in terms of the Smart Junior course book. I use flashcards when we play games. You're right, okay. I'm really happy that all of us are conscious teachers, that we really try to make our classes better and just listen to them. Okay, let's move on. Good. Moreover, of course, individual work is great, and when your kids should make an individual performance, it's important they should do that, but don't forget, teamwork and pair work activities can considerably help you in terms of their confidence, because in reality, when there are two, right, of them, so when they can, I don't know, support each other, if they present some idea, some project for themselves, of course, teamwork and pair work works great. Kids who are unconfident, when they work in an environment of the other kids and when the responsibility is vague for them, so they are not he or she is not the one to be responsible for the answer of the whole team, those kids who are unconfident, they can make fun if we talk about games, and definitely they can, of course, not be afraid of saying something wrong. So whenever you use teamwork and pair work, by the way, in our course book in Smart Junior, which is for the first form as well, we always have pair work and teamwork activities, games, etc. It really helps me, believe me. And as has already been mentioned by some of you, projects are great as well. They can help your kids express their beliefs, ideas, and they can help your kids show the interests they really have. Teamwork is useful. Children like competitions and they like to have prizes then. Pair work, okay? Group work is great. Okay, just in terms of talking about teamwork and pair work in terms of research, do you have pair work and teamwork activities every lesson, or do you tend to use it once in 2 lessons, once in 3 lessons, in 4? Write me the answer in the chat box. It would be really interesting for me to read your answers and probably to analyze them. Please type in how often. Every, okay. Yes. Okay, that's great. Please write to me. Really, I would be happy to analyze them. That would be a nice stock of work for me. Pair work. And don't forget to type in how often. If yes, I take it as an every lesson. Every. Okay. I see that you use the opportunities to boost your kids' confidence only once in 2 lessons. Okay. I don't use these kinds of work, not every. Maybe once in 2. Every. Not every. Maybe once in 2. Yes. Okay. So we try. Not every. Okay, I hope that you get the most of it, and I hope that it really helps your kids. Don't be afraid when your kids look at you with the frightened eyes and they don't understand what you want them to do. Sorry not to become boring, but tired. Not every lesson. Okay, I hope that it really helps you and that you get the most of it. I'm absolutely sure about the fact. And let's move on. In terms of methodology and in terms of how you can help your learners, I'd like also to mention revision section. I have already told you that we can use Now I Can, but in our course books by Publications, by Smart Junior, before Now I Can, we usually have review section, by making which, of course, they will set and achieve the goal, they will make it all right, and definitely they will review the words, get the understanding once again, and review work and review sections work okay, just to make sure that your kids know everything and just to boost their idea of learning it all. Okay, and offer you to sum it up what we have gone with you through right now, what we have discussed with you. So encourage and praise your kids, right? Don't forget about that. They need your understanding. They need to feel your love. They need to understand that you really care. So don't forget to show that you really care. Try to smile at them. Try to say some supportive words. Try to give them the understanding that they feel secure, that even if they make mistake, nothing bad happens. If they make mistake, Don't look at them like they know absolutely nothing in the whole world. Just try to encourage them. Try to say, okay, but let's check it once again, etc. So show that you really care. Don't forget to create opportunities so that they could succeed. That deals in terms of projects, that deals in terms of other sections which would work really great in your classroom and which would help your kids show that they know something, and in terms that they should understand something. Okay. Use peer and teamwork activities, which are really great and which are the something that you can use. Fun always works for the good of your kids. Don't forget to teach in contexts, because when they have the basis that they can use, definitely they are supposed for a certificate. Okay, don't. All of you will get certificates. Okay. Set achievable goals and let your kids understand they can reach them. Sorry, mistype. So that will now I can sections. Don't forget to make regular review exercises, which will help them to understand that they have reached and they have learned something during the class. Follow from controlled to freer practice activities. It works, believe me, and they will make less mistakes in free practice activities, which will boost their confidence as well. And don't forget to use visual aids. I hope that is the tips. Thank you, Ludmila. I hope these tips will help you to build your lessons so that and to plan your term, to plan your classes, to make your planning just for the better of your kids. So these are the tips really that can help to boost your kids and to raise your kids' confidence in terms of English. All the screenshots which you have seen currently, right now, recently at the screen, at this presentation, I have taken from our Smart Junior course. I'd like to devote several minutes just to describe it. Smart Junior course is an international course, but we have updated and revised it for Ukraine. So we have a special Smart Junior 1 edition for the first year students, for Ukrainian students. This course has already been chosen by 92,000 kids, which will use Smart Junior course in Ukrainian schools in the first form, starting from September 2018. It consists of a student's book, workbooks, My Smart Book, which is a nice opportunity. So follow our pages on Facebook and on other channels. Teacher's book and TPR and interactive whiteboard material. Smart Junior is a good course and has been chosen by a lot of kids just because it develops 21st century competence. You know that according to new Ukrainian school program, we have integrated content lines, which are also included, which can be found in Smart Junior. This innovative course provides opportunities for really smooth and easy learning for your kids. So I would offer you to get acquainted with that. We provide different videos at our Facebook page, etc. You can watch them and learn more about Smart Junior, because this is the course which is worth of your attention, which is worth of you to look at, and we recommend it. We have the authorization of the ministry, and what is most important is the fact that it corresponds to the program of the program. So I really hope that you're interested in watching out and learning how it works and learning how you can use it with your kids. I was really, it was a pleasure for me to have a webinar session with you today. I hoped you liked the presentation, fun, interesting ideas. If you have any question, if you want to address us, if you want to write us, if you want to take a look at the books, don't forget that you can address us at any time. Here is the address, here is the phone number, the emails. You can contact us, you can write to us at Facebook. We have a website, we have the Linguist company website, and you can get all the news right over there. And thank you for your attention, for being with me for the last during the last hour and listening to the webinar, sharing your ideas, and I will be very happy just to see you probably this year. We will make an announcement of the seminars for the next term, and we will make the announcement of the question and answer sessions, so the webinars. I hope that that will be great, and I hope you will have a nice and smart time with Smart Junior. At the start, you have already filled in the questionnaire with the contact data. I think that we'll send you the questionnaire which will answer regarding the webinar, how you would evaluate the webinar, and when you do that, we'll send you the certificate. And smart students, agree. Thank you very much. Write to us. You can see everything on the screen. We'll be happy to answer any question of yours. See you soon, and have a nice summer.